Here we have the Hornby Q1. Bought this last week at Lee Model Railway Exhibition. This is the Hornby R2344BR060 Class Q1 Locomotive, running number 33009, and it's the weathered edition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the box, take a look what we've got inside, and then we'll look at how we go about chipping it with a DCC chip. Right, let's get it out of its sleeve then. There we go. Put that over there. Yep, that looks really good, doesn't it? I can't wait to get this out. Okay, I'll take it out of the box. So we've got the instructions with all the usual stuff. Put that over there. We've got a accessory pack with one or two things there, different coupling, date rod, a few fittings to go, light fittings I think. That looks really good. And then I've got the loco itself. Right, I'm probably just going to take this off camera a second whilst I carefully try to remove this from the polystyrene. Okay, so bear with me a second. And there we have it. So I'd like to say that was easy, but it wasn't. It was well packaged and snugly fit in the polystyrene. I think this looks great. I really do. It's a loco I've been wanting for quite a while now. I really like its appearance. You know, I think it's really striking on the eye. So yeah, next thing to do now is to look at opening it, so we can actually see, you know, what we've got inside. Okay, so to get the body off, we have to take a screw out the chimney here. So I just unscrew that. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll go and get something so I can store the screws without losing them. Okay, so now that we've got the screw out, let's take the case off. Okay, there we go, that slides off. Okay, some really good detail actually on the body. I love the pipework there. It's really nice. Quite fragile too, to be honest. So I'll just put that to one side so I don't damage it. So this is what we've got. We've got the motor here. And I've got all of the wires going to this block here. So the chips we'll be using today are the Lay's DCC 8-pin harness decoder. It's 4-function decoder, and I stick all of these decoders in my locos. Every one so far, bar a few. I've got these chips in them. You know, I like these chips. They're cheap and you know, they do what they need to do. So this is what we'll put in here today. Okay, so this conversion is a little bit easier than anticipated, and the reason for that is because I didn't know it was DCC ready. As you can see, you've got an 8-pin blank chip there, which, you know, if we remove and we put the Lay's chip in, that should work perfectly fine. So I'll put the soldering iron away this evening. Okay, so let's just take this out of the cradle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the blank chip very carefully, like so. I'm going to save that because I might use that somewhere else. I suppose that the really important thing to note, really, when you take that off, is as you can see, the blanking chip has got a marker to show you which one is pin number 1, which is the top. It's one of the top ones there, one closest to my finger. It's really important that you remember that because we have to make sure that we stick pin 1 of the decoder in that hole. Okay, so I'll just put this back in the cradle and we'll get our chip out. Now these decoders don't tell you which one is pin 1 on the actual chip themselves, but they come with a handy instruction manual here to tell you which pin 1 is, which is the orange one, or the motor right. So there's all of our wires, and there's our PCB. We can see our orange one here is pin 1 at the bottom there. So I'm going to make sure that that goes in pin 1 of the Locos. So you got to be really careful here. Make sure you don't bend anything. So I'll put that in, and I push that in, and there we are. As simple as that, really. Right, I'm going to go and get the Hornby Select and a bit of track, and we'll program it. Okay, so I've got my Hornby Select. I've connected it to the track, and I've turned on the power. So the next thing to do now is to program the Loco. So we'll program it as number 5. With the select, you hold down select, it starts blinking LA, you select your number, and then you press select again, and you should get 3 red lights. Any more than 3 red lights, and the chip, for whatever reason, hasn't programmed correctly. But in this case, ours has. So I'm just going to see if it moves. And there we go, that's a really good sign. So nice little crawl going forwards. Let's turn it the other way, and excellent. So we now have got our chip in our Loco. We've programmed the chip to number 5, and we know it's all working correctly. The next step now is to tidy it up, and I'll put a bit of electrical tape around the spare wire there that's not needed, and we'll then get the body back on. Okay, so I've just taped up with a bit of electrical tape the that 9th wire, and I've just stuck it to so I've taped it up individually, and then I've stuck it to the chip just so it doesn't fall down. The next step now is to actually work out whether or not there's going to be enough space in here for the chip. I'm thinking something like that, probably. So we'll stick the chip directly above, where all the wires are feeding in, and hopefully, the wires then can just sit above the mechanism, and in the void between the mechanism and the top of the body. Okay, so I'll have a go at that now. Okay guys, so I've got that back on. It seemed to go on relatively easily. There must have been more space in there than we knew, really. So I'm just going to put the screw back in the chimney and tighten it up, and then hopefully that's us done. Okay, so that's tightened up. That all seems to be on okay. So I'll just stick it back on the track again, just to make sure. One final test. Okay, put the mains back on. We'll select our loco, plug channel number 5. And then there we go, backwards and forwards. Excellent. Well, I'm really happy with how that's gone. So it was really easy in the end.